Today, we're gonna break down LifeOfRiza's YouTube channel. We're gonna watch a few of her videos and see exactly what makes them good. So good that hundreds of thousands of people can't help but watch every time she uploads. Now she almost has 1 million subscribers on her YouTube channel, and I can only imagine that's gonna keep going up. So it's easy enough to see where good creators are currently, but I thought it'd be interesting to start with one of her older videos, maybe her oldest video, to see where she got her start and what her YouTube channel was like back then. Because contrary to popular belief, not all big YouTube channels start as big YouTube channels. But if you want to help us out with that, you can hit the subscribe button down below. We greatly appreciate it. This video is called Create Yourself. So a lot of her kind of more recent videos are centered around different topics in productivity and filmmaking, I suppose. But this one doesn't really seem like there's a defined direction to it, at least not based on the title. Okay, immediately you can tell that she knows how to work a camera. Like
she's trying to cut to the music, to the beat.
Yeah, it's not always the most clean, but it's crazy knowing where she is now, how even in her first video, you can tell how good her videography chops are.
That's why you can tell, like, this is 8 years ago, because at that time, like, that is super Sam Kohler. You can tell that she has the ideas are there.
One thing here is, you know, she's matching shots to the music. She's maybe taking really good looking shots, but you can tell the way she's weaving them in is she put thought into it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. It's like she is perfecting her craft.
Yeah, you know what I mean? This is her in her Hajime no Ippo grind arc. Oh,
she's trying to do the music plus the turning. So she probably filmed herself turning that way 5 times and then just cut it.
I think as a viewer, right? Even though, you know, even when you try things where the execution isn't as clean as you'd like it to be,
or whatever.
I think as viewers, we can kind of appreciate the fact that you thought about it, right? The fact that you planned it out, because you clearly did. You can only create that by intentionally going, I'm gonna turn around a bunch of times. I mean, I'm gonna film a bunch of clips of me turning around and I'm gonna sync them up.
Exactly.
Even back then in her first video, in what is, to your point, probably the point in her life where she has gear that's a lot worse than the gear she has now. She maybe doesn't have as much practice. She's still putting in the work. Yeah. You know? All right, so overall, for a first video on a YouTube channel, setting very high expectations. I want you guys to know that if you see a creator's first video be amazing, that shouldn't be the standard that you set for yourself. There's a looming thing where people think that your content always needs to be up to a certain standard, but no, you actually work to get to the standard that you set for yourself. So we're about to watch her newer content, how to film yourself and look cinematic, and it'll be cool to see the development she makes between her older stuff and her newer stuff.
Like immediately better color grading.
Yeah, okay. The huge difference between her first video and now. I think people see things like talking headshots and assume that
it's easy to do.
In a way, it kind of is, because it is just a talking headshot, but people assume that there's no room for improvement. Right?
I think that's the big thing. It's people probably think like, oh, you can just put your camera up and talk to it, which you can, in theory, but doing the little bits here, like her putting filling up the dead space in the back left there with the chair, and then having the light come out in the window that fills up the dead space on the right side.
These are things I think show that there's always room for improvement in some way, and they might not be huge things. It might not be getting a better camera or getting a better microphone or scripting better, right? There are things you can do with everything you have now that level up a simple shot. You know what's crazy about these B-roll montages is that this is B-roll that she's shot over time. So now she just has a bank of B-roll that she can always go back to, which I think is a huge practical tip for anybody. One day, you're going to think, I really need a shot in front of a piano wearing a yellow jumpsuit right now, and you'll be thankful that you created that shot one day.
Exactly. That's a point. If you're gonna create videos where you're talking, invest in a mic.
Oh, true.
Like, you need a mic.
Obviously, creators need to work within their means, but to Tim's point, I think people really underestimate the importance of good audio.
You need mics.
In general.
Put that in text, Paolo. You need mics. Right there. You don't need.
You don't need this. You do not need this. I just want to point out that all of these shots so far have been incredibly simple.
And cinematic.
Yeah. Her video looks cinematic. More importantly, it feels cinematic.
It really feels cinematic.
And all her shots are incredibly simple.
You need to understand how lighting works.
Yeah.
If you want to portray like a really good, look cinematic type of video, lighting is so important. It's so important.
Oh, no free promo. That's an ad. We're going to go ahead.
Learn how to fly the drone.
What do you think is one thing that any creator of any size can take away from Riza's videos?
That she's very authentic with her projects, and there's intention behind what she's doing. Like, you can tell for each shot that she does here, she thought about what's around her, like her surroundings, and she thought about how to get the viewer engaged.
I think I would say keep it simple if you can, right? Always think of the simplest version of telling the story you want to tell and making the viewer feel what you want to feel. And if you want to build upon it from there, then you build upon it from there. But otherwise, keeping it simple usually works really well. Guys, if you want to check out a free guide that we wrote with a lot of essential things that anyone can use to make their videos just that little bit better, then you can check that out in the description below. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around, but we'll see you soon.
Subscribe.